Hi everyone, this is Caio Moreno, Solution Architect at Databricks. I'm based in Spain, Madrid. I'm super excited. I'm going to talk about AI BI, our intelligence analytic. And this is something new that we recently launched on our event in San Francisco. I recommend you guys to have a look, try to understand a little bit about what is compound AI systems and what is AI BI dashboards and what about Genie, what is Genie and everything. So what I'm going to do a quick demo with Genie. Okay. So Genie, in a very big summary, it is a tool that use generative AI on top of your tables on your data warehouse. And then you can ask natural language questions. You can ask questions in English, questions in Spanish, in Portuguese. So let me show you this. Let me show you how to use Genie. So if we go here to my Databricks, and I go to my repo, where I have a repo here, okay? And this repo, I have my end-to-end demo. If you want to follow this demo, the code is here. Okay, this is the demo. It's on my GitHub, my personal GitHub. I created a demo about AI BI, Genie, Databricks SQL Serverless unit catalog. So this data comes from Airbnb. Everybody knows Airbnb. If I want to rent something from Madrid, you go there and you search, and then you're gonna find a lot of properties. So the property are here, and there is a website, this one, which has all the data, the raw data from Madrid. And this data is available on the internet. You can download. So what my project's doing, I have my notebook here, super simple. And then this notebook is downloading the data. It's creating like a delta table. So you can you can execute this notebook. And then the only thing you need to do, you need to point this to a catalog. So unit catalog, if you're not familiar, I'm going to do a quick demo. But I have a catalog, I have a schema, and I have a table. And then I execute a query using Spark SQL. Okay, but if you're not like a Spark developer, you're not very familiar with Spark, what you could do, you could also use Genie. Okay, so I have this table now available. So if I go to my catalog, okay, so I go and I put Caio. So if I go and I filter here, Caio, I have my my catalog, my schema, and I have tables. Also, the data itself, it's here. It's in a folder, in a volume, in unit catalog. And if I need to add more data, I can just come here and upload it, and then I can point this, and then I upload it, and then I have more data here. So I created, I put the folder, I put the file here. I use that script to read the file and write as a table, and I have this table. This is my table. This is the data, okay? And if I want, I could open a dashboard with this data. I can use Tableau. I could use Power BI. I can even share this data using data sharing. But what I'm going to do now, I'm going to do something super cool. I'm going to use this data, and I'm going to use Genie. Ooh, like if you like Aladdin, like the Genie in the lamp. So let's ask Genie. So I go here to Genie, and I'm going to create like a Genie space, what I'll call my demo, Caio, Madrid, and I put the date today, June. And I'm gonna point this to a warehouse that I already created. I have many. I created this one that is stopped it, but I'm gonna point to this one, and I'm gonna point a table. I'm gonna go here and say, Caio is the catalog, and the schema is this one, and the table is this one. Okay, You can point more tables if you want, but I'm going to point this one, and then I'm going to confirm. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go here on I have some questions that I already know that they are nice. So I'm going to get this one, and I'm going to say, I want this to be a simple question. So I'm going to add this. So when people don't know what to ask, they can ask my questions, okay? And I'm going to put this one. And I'm going to put one more, which is this one, okay? So those are my questions, and I'm going to put save. So when I save, it's going to say, oh, the SQL warehouse that you have is stopped. Okay, let's start it, okay? So my SQL warehouse, it's here, my compute. So you have to create, I create like a Databricks SQL warehouse using serverless option. Okay, look at that. Now I have the questions. So I'm going to say, okay, how many superhosts are there in each neighborhood? You don't really need to worry about how good you write your questions. You can just write, and then it's quite clever enough to understand and to answer. So now this is running. So Genie is running, and it already found me the counts by neighborhood. It's a lot. So maybe if I want to do a out visualization, it will take more time. I can say, oh, I like it. I like this. So I give a positive, a thumb back positive. And look at that. It runs and executes for me this. If I want, let's ask another question. Let's say, for example, show me the top 10 hosts. Okay, I'm going to do this. I'm going to show top 10 hosts. Every question that you ask, it gets recorded in the system, and you can use this for monitoring. So now I have the top 10 hosts, and I see that Fran and Marta are the ones with more total reviews. So I can say, I like it. I can say auto visualize as well, and it's gonna run. It's gonna create me a dashboard. So I have a graph that I can visualize my data. So now let's say if I want to say, show me all the properties where Fran and Marta are superhost. See, everything that I execute, it generates a SQL, okay? So I don't need to know SQL. I can just like use the tool and it will generate a SQL. It's good if you know SQL because you can validate what the generative AI tool is creating. But this is a plus. Okay, show me all the properties where Fran and Marta are the superhosts. Now what I'm doing, I'm drilling down on Marta, and now this is all the properties they have. So they have many, they have in Sol, they have in, and then we have the price and everything. So imagine that I wanted to spend some money and I want to come to Madrid. I want to visit Madrid. Maybe I can say I only have 250 euros. Where can I stay? Okay, let's see. It will filter now. So look at that. If I see that one, this is the query. It filtered by Fran. And now if we see this one, it's filtering by Fran, but also filtering by cost. And then I can say, oh, I could stay in the central located quite with terrace in Jerónimos, this place in Sol. So now, if you want to understand a little bit about the things behind, if I go to settings, I could add more tables, I could add more questions, I can change my warehouse, I can see the monitoring. This is all the things that I executed. If it failed, if completed, pending, the users that execute those queries. If it went positive, look, positives are those. And you can filter. The data itself needs to have comments. So then I show you, for example, here I have comments about every one of my columns. And you can add instructions as well. You can put example SQL queries, and then you can play. You could just like go and create like a new chat. And even you can say, for example, explain me the data. So this tool will use what we describe in our documentation, which is compound AI systems. So if you want to understand more, read this blog. And it use unit catalog behind the scenes and use our warehouse. And look, this gives the description about what the table is. What are the tables in heart? No, this is a different question I asked. Sorry. This is here. Okay, no, this is another question that I asked. But I want to show you how you could improve your system. So if you have your tables, and then it's not giving you good results. So what you could do, you could go to your table. For example, imagine that I have this table here, which is neighborhoods, sorry, reviews. And this one doesn't have a comment. So I can use my AI generate to button, and it now generates the comment for my table. And I say, oh, this is good. I wanted to accept. And then I could accept maybe comments as well for my table. So I could accept this one as well. So if you provide more metadata, if you give more information about the tables, the columns, it will improve the accuracy, okay, of the response and everything. So that's pretty much what I wanted to show. And for every query that you do on Genie, for example, if I go here in Genie, you see that I have many Genies that I created. If you get the last one is, I think was this one. So for example, we have this that we ask questions. So if I just go and get this query here, I can Control C, Control V, and I can come to my compute, to my warehouse. This is the one that I created, okay? So if I want, I can go to my SQL editor, and I can create like a new query, and I can put this here, and I can say, okay, run on my DB SQL, and let's execute it. So this is running the query on my data warehouse on top of my lake house, on my Delta tables. So this is the same query that I executed with Genie. If I click here, you see that this table, it has no cache. So it didn't, it basically went and got the data. Look, you have IO. You can see that the data was extract. But now if I want, I can execute this again. And let's see, it's much faster, right? Because now we have cache, okay? And that's it. So with the unit catalog, you can control all the access around your tables, your volumes, your machine learning models. And then with the SQL warehouse, like the Databricks SQL Serverless, you can run very fast, very fast queries. Like if I want, I could have a Power BI dashboard connect here, a Tableau dashboard, or I can even create like a dashboard using whatever tool I want. And with Genie, what you have this ability to query the. So if I go here back to Genie, I can query my data using natural language. So for example, I can ask any question I want, and it gives me the answer. And you can give this tool for users that they don't know SQL, and they can ask questions. And every question they ask, it will get a SQL query, which maybe they can share with you. And they can even use these queries to run on their warehouse or to build a dashboard. So there are many ways you could use Genie. And that's it. Maybe the last thing I want to show is for your catalog, as I have here my catalog. I didn't show, but I have also a model. I have two machine learning models that I have on my catalog. I can give permissions for people to use. I have multiple versions of my machine learning model. And I also register this model and I put it into my endpoint to serve. So now I have an endpoint, which if I want to query this Airbnb data, because I build like a machine learning model on top of that, I could come here and query this data and and then basically I get the predictions, as you can see. So I pass some information about my Airbnb data, and I receive the prediction. So I wanted to finish now, and I hope you guys try. Go to my code. If you just follow this code here, you see that's super simple. It's gonna download the code from the internet. You need catalog enable, so you need like to create a catalog, a schema, and then that's it. Then you execute the code, and you're gonna have your table. You don't need to use the Airbnb data, so you can reuse this code for your pilots, your POCs with the tool. When you put the table on, when you put this data into a table, what I recommend for you is you go here to warehouse, and then you create a new warehouse, and then you select the option serverless. Make sure you have unit catalog enable. You give a name, and there is multiple options. You can select one, and then that's it. You hit the button, and then you create your warehouse, and then you can query. So I hope this was useful, and please send me feedback. Connect me with LinkedIn. This is my GitHub, so you can find me here on LinkedIn, and that's it. I hope this was useful. The demo is here. I'm gonna improve this. If you don't have serverless, you need to enable, and if you don't have Genie, you also need to enable in your Databricks. Thank you, guys. Thank you for your time, your patience. I hope that was useful. Please send me feedback. Bye-bye.